your nib's too slow and your ink won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to help you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hey, welcome folks. Larry Barones here in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to my channel, Larry's Fountain Pens. Well, hope everybody's been good, safe. Been ugly here in Fort Worth. Nasty, cold, chilly, rain off and on, just blah. And of course, excuse me, the virus has just gone berserk. So, got to be real careful. You don't want to catch the virus, even though the vaccine is starting to come out now. Still, you need to be safe. You need to think, be safe. Yeah, I know it sucks. I know it's a downer. I get it. I get all the frustrations. I get what you're feeling. I can pick up the vibes, but still, if you get the virus, you're going to ask yourself, why? What did I do? Why didn't I listen? So, join the real world for those who got together and say, enough's enough. I'm tired of this. I'm not going to deal with it more. I'm going to do what I need to do to keep safe, keep my family safe, keep my friends safe. Then I'm, God willing, going to get that vaccine. And then I'll still follow the rules until I know that I get the all clear from whoever is going to give the all clear on that. Okay? Cool? Let's get to pens. Okay. We're going to talk about a variety of pens, what they do, some of the do's and the don'ts. Talk about a few inks. Kind of get you going where you need to go, because some people say, do you have that kind of pen, that kind of pen? Why don't you use these kind of pens? What's wrong with this kind of pen? First, let's start with the don't. Beautiful Monteverde Regatta and magnet, beautiful nib, writes really well to stub. Now look at the grip. Can you see that pretty good? Good close up on that, Mr. Announcer. So, how did that get done? By me. And what you never want to use are these kind of pliers. Get the ones that have the rubber on the end, so that way this won't ever happen. Okay? So, sometimes your grip will get, when you start to unscrew it, stuck. And I did have this inked up for months, and just seeing how the nib was going to write, testing it, and it was stuck. So I went ahead, and even though I used a cloth over it, like so, and I got the pliers at so, now I know what I'm doing. And I did that, but evidently I didn't have the cloth around there good enough. So that wouldn't have happened if I would have had the rubber pliers, which I should have got years ago, but I didn't, so that's what happened. So, can I fix this? No, I can't fix that. That's done. That's gone. Sealed. So, if I wanted to sell this beautiful pen, which I don't, that right there could be a turnoff to people. Would it be a turnoff to me? Not necessarily, because it's all for me right here, the nib. So other than that, the pen's in excellent tip-top condition, just that ugly looking mark that I did with the pliers. So what I will do eventually is go get a hold of Monteverde and see if I can get a new grip section for this. Okay, so that's a no-no. Never use this without rubber on the end, okay? Be safe. Don't be a moron like me, right? Huh. I thought I had it control. I thought I had enough of this over it because I've done it before. But there's always a chance like now that you could mess up and duh, I get the moron today. So, what the heck? So let's look at pens. Okay, I have vintage pens. I deal in vintage pens. But I don't deal in a lot of vintage pens like other reviewers do. Well, why not? Because I don't want to. It's easy as that. I only deal in vintage pens that I am interested in or that I grew up using or know about from decades ago. Every once in a while I may work out of the box and get a vintage pen that I know nothing about. Yep, been there, done that. And they were either good or they were no good or they need to be worked on. And I don't want to work on pens. That's not my thing. I don't want to have to buy all the equipment that I need, this and that, to get them all done. No. So, but that's just me. I got enough on my plate. It's full. But there's plenty of reviewers out there that'll knock it out. You can check them out. Cool. So, let's get into some of my pens, okay? I'm going to start with some custom pens. Here are two custom pens. They're Jim Hines custom pens. This is the Beacon 2 with a gold nib. 14K gold nib. Beautiful pen, beautiful writer. Never had a problem with it. Now here's a pen that was made for my specifications by Hines. Got a steel nib on it. Excellent fountain pen, lovely writer. I had this big girthy cap put on it and a black clip. But I wanted this color. So yeah, I'm cool with it. Then let's go to Jin Hao. Oh, Jin Hao. Wow, okay. Jin Hao. 750 versus the 159. Brand new. Beautiful pens, right? I really like the Jin Hao a lot. The cool fountain pens. They're me, practical, affordable, and most important, I can change out the nibs. Number 6 size nibs. Like I've said before, this was what led me to the Mont Blanc 149. I love this size pen. I love this. It's a cool, awesome pen. Maybe not for everybody, but for me, it works. The Jin Hao 750, a cool fountain pen. Metal, lacquered, nice clip, nice decorations on it. Looks cool, right? Definitely. And it's affordable. And you can see there's finally a little scratch there where the enamel's coming off. But I've had this pen, what, since 2015, almost 6 years. And this has a number 6 Knox nib on it. That's what's cool about this. They have the number 6 nibs, so you can use the number 6 of your choice. This is a Knox that I put in there. I have some Anderson nibs in some. I have a Goulet in some. Nimasan in some. With different nib sizes, so I can just have a lot of fun changing up the nib size, okay? Let's talk about a serious pen here. I'll tell you why it's serious. Look at these. So, what does this tell you? What does that say to you? Lummy, 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 right? They're all Lummies, right? Wrong! They're not. They all may look like Lummies, but there are not real Lummies in this bunch. Can you pick out the fake Lummy? This is just one of them. well, I wouldn't say so much fake as that it's a Chinese pen, their own style. So, and it's this one right here. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Looks just like a Lummy. It's got everything going for it like the Lummy. This is the Lux. This is the All-Star. This is Safari. And it really looks, I love the color. I like how they did the clip on it. And it's, you know, it speaks for itself, right? And there's Lummy down here on the barrel, which on this pen there is nothing. So, they list it as a student pen. So that's interesting. So let's go ahead and take the nibs apart. First of all, this has a Lummy nib on it. And this is a fine. And the nib on this one is an extra fine, standard Chinese brand, I assume. And look at the grips. Take a real good close-up on these pens here. The grips are almost identical with the exception of this grip is clear and the Lummy grip is not. So, are you with me now? Okay. But what's cool about this, you can see the ink going down through it, and through the feed. But look at the nibs. Almost identical. But this one has a little bit more width to it than this one does. And let's unscrew the barrel. I have a Lummy cartridge in it, or I could get a converter for it, which I do in other pens. But these pens automatically come with their own converter. Cool. And these pens are very, very affordable. And I really do like them. I like the way they write. So the question is, and I've been asked, well, can I change the nibs on these Lummys? Sure you can. They're really simple to change out. Get a piece of Scotch tape, put it over your nib, and pull the nib off. Good to go. Put your new one on. Bam. Ink it up, and let's fly with that sucker. You're good to go. So, let's take a look at this Lummy Safari. Now, it is a Lummy fountain pen. Now, this pen was given to me. No, I think I already bought this pen. Yeah, this one wasn't given to me. I already bought this pen. Yeah, from Barnes & Nobles, in fact. And what I did was I changed the nib out to an extra fine Chinese nib, extra fine, and it writes really nice, sweet. The only problem I had with the nibs is it's a little harder to get this nib off than this, and sometimes just depends on these nibs. It could be a little bit difficult to get it on, not the easiest. If you go with the standard Lummy nib, no problem whatsoever taking it off, putting it on, it's a charm. You know, these nibs, you can get them for, I don't know, under $2. Under $3. Where these are, you know, I really forget, like under 15, under 20. Just depends where you shop at. So, and here's a Lummy Lux, one at the top of the line before you get into the more expensive pens. But this is not cheap, I would say. I think it's below 70. Is it 69 or 70? Somewhere in there. Beautiful pen. I love the Lummy. Lummy rocks, baby. Lummy rocks for me. But a lot of people don't like Lummy pens. Why is that? Because of the grip section. The way the grip section is made. For me, it keeps my fingers perfectly in place. So I like that. Nice fit. And this Lummy I like so much that I bought a 14K gold nib for it, and I think it's a medium. Let me see. Yep, 14K gold nib. Yep, and the nib runs you about 99 bucks. People say, why do you want to put that kind of money on that nib for that pen? Well, first of all, I like the pen. I like everything about the pen. You know, to me, it's a nice looking pen, and it feels great in the hand. I mean, I use this a lot now. So, to me, it was worth putting a gold nib on it. So, we've talked about all those. Now, let's talk about Kaweco. Kaweco, a super cool fountain pen. Pocket pen, you can put a clip on it. You can get a converter for it or use the cartridges. Whatever way you want to flow. This has a double broad nib on it. I picked this up from Gold Spot Pens, and the nib is to die for. Superb nib. I love the nib. And also, I do like Kaweco. One day when I can afford it, I want to get the Kaweco, the metal one, the rose gold. That's a nice looking one. If not that, Mev was thinking about the silver one. Great pen, can't go wrong with it. What, around 26 bucks. Let's break the pattern here. Let's go with Conklin All-American and Monteverde. Conklin All-American, one of the latest new ones. The turquoise, beautiful fountain pen. A great nib on it. I have had no problems with the nibs. They've changed out the nibs to a Joe number 6 nib. And this one is a fine nib. Good looking. Love that rocker clip. Love everything about the Conklin fountain pens. I'm a big Conklin guy. I think they do excellent pens. There's some people out there who will say opposite because they've had some bad writing experiences with either Conklin or the Monteverde. Well, I say to them, and I'll say it again, if you have problems with your pens, contact your dealer. Contact who you got them from. Or get a hold of Monteverde and let them know what's going on with your issues. If your pen's still in warranty and you haven't messed it up, they would gladly repair it for you. If you messed it up, like I did on this pen, then you'll have to pay to have it fixed. But beautiful pen, the giant Sequoia as well. I love them. They're big, they're girthy. And on this one I have a Noodler's nib in it. And it's the flex nib in it. So you can change out nibs, like I said, number 6 nibs. I do have some with the OmniFlex in it as well. Let's go Chinese again. The like, right here. All metal fountain pen. Nice lacquered, nice polish on it. Nice clip. Nice looking band on it. Unscrew it, it's cool. You got a smaller nib, probably looks like a 5 maybe. And you got a chrome grip section. Well, there's a lot of people that do not like chrome. End of story, I get it. But they would tend to, slip while you're writing, and what a drag is that. Now this is still wet, as you can see there. Just cleaned it. But the chrome grips really doesn't bother me that much. I yet have had one to really bother me. So, and there's some people that just go berserk. They just can't stand it. But it comes with also a converter, and very, very affordable. And I believe this is a fine nib. Now let's do a little trip with Euchres. Is that how you say it?
Euchres. Mm-hmm.
and out of Japan. And Loretta sent me these like last year. I have some new ones that were shipped out to me over a month ago, haven't arrived yet, but these are some excellent fountain pens. And you can get them, I think they start in the 20, 25, 30 range up to 50, 60 bucks. Fabulous fountain pen. This has a felt tip on it. I'll unscrew the barrel. Felt tip is a 1.0, and you have other different size tips you can buy and put them on. They're not too costly at all. And you can find these at just about anywhere that sells pens in it. The converter. Really a nice fountain pen. Really, really nice. I like the feel of it. And of course down here is chrome. And it doesn't bother me. Sometimes I hold my pen up here, but really a nice tip on it. And you can use your favorite inks, or they do sell their inks, and they have some really nice inks. Euchres have some really beautiful ink colors. I'm impressed with them. And also cartridges if you want to go that route. So you got options. You got ink options. Cartridge converter. You got the felt tip options to change out the tip sizes. So you got a good looking pen. It's Strack. Just a good looking Strack pen. Nice pen. So we're done with that. Now, I did show you that. So let's talk about little vintage here. These are just a few vintage pens. I'm not going to put them all out yet. Vintage Parker 51 with a 14K beautiful gold nib on this sucker. Beautiful fountain pen. Had it restored by Greg Sheik. Did a superb job on this pen. So Greg, if you're in this video, thumbs up. This guy rocks. He just restored this beauty, and I use it quite often. I hate putting it down, but I have so many other pens that I have to review. I have to rotate them, and I hate to rotate, but I do. So, beautiful fountain pen. You know, I bought it, I forgot how much it was, and then I had to pay to restore it, but it was worth it to me because, to me, it's history, it's vintage. I love this pen, to die for. Parker rocks. So, I'm going to put this over here, and this one here is going to be, I think, a Waterman. Made in the USA. Yep, this is a Waterman with the lever. It has a bag inside. Unscrew it. It's got a nice nib that really writes nicely. I really like it. And here is the Eversharp. Another vintage that I really like. I think the clip's pretty cool the way it's shaped. But the pen writes super duper nice. Believe it or not, it writes really nice. Didn't cost a lot of money. Not all vintage pens cost an arm and a leg. It just depends on the rarity of the vintage pen. And here's the Russian pen that I've talked about before. This is the one that I stepped out of my box, my safety zone, and I went for the Russian pen, and it turned out to be a really nice pen. I've done a review on it, and I've had somebody to translate the material that came with this pen. So if you want to check out that Russian pen, it's on my channel. Where? I don't know. And here is a Arnold. It's on the clip, made in the USA, and it's a vintage pull-off cap. Senate on the nib. and it's also has a bag filler with the lever. So this pen was affordable, even though it's an oldie but goodie. You would think, well, why didn't it cost more than it did? I'm just going to guess, maybe because they have an abundance of these pens, they just weren't hot sellers. They weren't famous. I don't know, but to me, it was an oldie but goodie. And if this pen could talk, what a story it would tell you. Now let's go back over here to the Wherever pen. Awesome pen. Kind of reminds me of this one. Screw off cap. It's got that white plastic feed on it. Beautiful pen. Writes really great. And it's got a number on the nib. Looks like a 0 or could be a letter. 8988 it looks like. But it's a cool pen. And I'm glad I got it. And it does use a Wherever cartridge on it that I fill up and clean it. So these are just a few of the pens that I've reviewed. But before we go away, what do all these pens have in common? They write. So, but with all these pens, you're going to need one more item to make them work. It's called ink. Without ink, your fountain pen is going to be useless until you ink it up. And then once you ink it up, it's ready to go. And some of my favorite inks, Mont Blanc is one of them. But let's talk about Robert Oyster. A beautiful ink, Robert Oyster, I believe from Australia. Incredible inks. Robert Oyster inks rock. And this one here is the Frankly 5th ink from Federalist Pens. A beautiful color. And then you have the one and only Diamine Blue Velvet. Love it. I love that bottle shape as well. Then you got the Conklin Courage that just came out. Black, beautiful black ink by Conklin. And last but not least, we have the Monteverde California Teal ink. Just a few inks I wanted to show you. And we'll talk more inks later. Well, that's going to wrap it up today. Last but not least, I got to bring him into it. My Mont Blanc Starwalker with a 14K medium nib. Fantastic. Love the pen. And I haven't put this down since I've got it. Lovely pen. It just writes awesome. So, you know, high-end pen. More than all those sitting there, yeah. Is it worth it? In my opinion, heck yeah. Love the pen. And again, I want to just say these are the, what are these, Mr. Announcer?
Zenzoi.
The Zenzoi? Yeah, ends with an I, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Zenzoi that I reviewed on, these are really very nice fountain pens. I was totally impressed with the pens. They write extremely well. So I got to give them a thumbs up. They did a great job on them. And they are affordable. They're a decent, good-looking writer. Okay? So that's going to do it today, folks. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you hung with me all the way to the end of the video. And before I go, If you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well just hit the little bell so they can notify you when I upload a video. Now, I try to do a video every day. I try. But, you know, I have other groups that also need my attention. I have a lot of groups that need my attention. But that's okay. That's why I'm here for. That's where my heart is. Oh, there's more pins in here as well. Think I should share them with you? I may before I go. Oh, maybe for the next trip. How's that? So, make sure we can zoom that in. These are all about where I hang out. My YouTube channel, social medias, Facebook. So if you want to find me, you can find me. And, you know, if you would, spread the word. I'm here to stay. I ain't going nowhere, baby. I'm here to rock right here. So remember, ink's very important. Fountain pens are not made for everybody. And it's really hard to determine what's going to fit your fancy. Are you going to go for, you know, a look like that, which is, you know, cool? Or would you like a look like that with that nice gold cap on it and nice polish? Or you're going to go with, you know, something like that? Or what? Are you going to go custom fountain pens? What? So many pens. That's why if you can get to a pen show, it's always best to go to a pen show. That way you can look at all the pens and freak out at all the pens. And then you can test the pens. But you always want to ask the seller there, if you're interested in seeing how the pen writes, just say, I'll just pick on Frank from Federalist Pens. Hey, Frank, can I look at this pen and see how it writes? Okay. And you're going to get a feel how it writes. Or let's say you're at Anderson's table and you ask Lisa or Brian, say, I'm interested in this Monteverde Sequoia. This is just an example. So, do you mind if I give it a test write? And they will. They're there to help you with your journey on what pen is going to fit you. That's really important. I can't stress that enough. Not every pen that I show is going to fit your fancy. Not going to fit your hand. Not going to fit your style. Because I've said this over and over again. We all are different. Different likes and different dislikes. And our opinions are different. So that's enough for today, my good friends. Stay safe. Be safe. Follow the rules. And as always, wash them hands. And don't do this. So, let's don't be morons. Wake up. Be safe for you, your family, your friend, because they want to see you come home. Don't text and drive. Peace out. Bye-bye.